Hello guys, in this section right now I'm going to walk you through using elements in Elementor, and we're going to be going deeper into building a real life website that is going to look more advanced, not just this kind of sections that we have here. So you just need to follow me keenly, because I'm going to be using a lot of advanced features, and everything I'm going to touch I'm going to explain it to you, so you have to take note. It's from this free case study that you are going to learn a lot of things using this page builder. So what I'm going to do now is actually right click here and duplicate this section. So I'm going to be doing a lot of things that I personally do when I'm designing a real website for a client or for myself. So once I've duplicated that section, now we now have it blank. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and insert a heading, and I'm not just going to insert a natural heading. You can actually insert a normal heading there, but I want to show you some advanced things here. We have a normal heading that is going to look like this. Let me just use a basic heading because definitely, and then we'll have this pro feature. The Elementor Pro actually has a special kind of heading which is animated, and it's going to be very exciting to put that at the top of your website. So if you actually look at the differences, this one has an animated section here and this one is just flat. So I'm just going to go ahead, right click and take off this flat heading, and I'm going to focus more on the heading that is big, it has this animated section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this and I'm going to decide the height of this heading. So instead of h3, I'm going to take it up to h1. Like I said, the bigger the size, from h1 is the biggest, h6 is the lowest. So as you go, as the number increases, h2, h3, h4, that's how the size also decreases. So I'm also going to go to the styling tab, and we can also decide on how the width of this heading is going to look like. So if I'm increasing it here, okay, definitely maybe it does not show a change. Let me try to oh, definitely that was for the shape. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this so that doesn't bother. So for the headline now, here's what happens. We can actually decide the color of this our headline, but for this case I'm just going to leave it here. Now the next thing I'm going to be adding right away is a background. So I'm just going to click on this option here. If you see where exactly my mouse is, that is where you need to click, and now I'm going to be adding a background to it. So when I click on that section, now I can go to background and I'm going to choose a slideshow. So you can see different options here: classic, gradient, a video, a slideshow. So you can play around all those things, but in this case I'm going to be using a slideshow. So once I've choose slideshow, I'm going to be adding images. I don't want to use videos. It actually makes websites load slower. Not really actually slow, but it has a lot of factors you need to do to balance. So I'm just going to add images. I'm not going to add a single image. I'm also going to add at least 2 or 3 images. In this case I'm just going to use 2 because I don't really have special images here that I like. So once I've added these images to gallery, I'm going to insert gallery now into the website. So as you can look at it now, the height of our gallery is very low. So the first thing is that the duration for the images to actually swap between the different images is taking very long. I like it to always show the difference, so I'm going to put it at 2000 so that it swaps faster. Maybe you can actually put it at 3000. It's going to work best for you. And what I'm going to do now, I'll go back to layout. I don't think I'm too fast, but you just need to follow me. So once I'm on layout now, you see this option here. You can see columns, gap, height. I'm going to come now to height here, and on height, if I actually take fit to screen, you see that it's going to make a very big section of the website covered by the image, which I don't really like, and definitely no one will like. So what I'm going to take here is minimum height. So with minimum height, it doesn't really cover so much of the website, it just takes a particular portion. As you can see, our text don't really stand out here. What I'm going to do now is actually add an overlay to this background. So to add an overlay here, that's what you see on most websites. I'm going to go to the style section, and once I'm on the style section, I'm just going to close this and I'm going to choose background overlay. On background overlay now, I'm going to choose a color, and in this color I'm going to choose a color. So definitely as a background overlay, you can still use images as a background overlay, but that doesn't really look very good. So I'm going to choose color. So when I choose a color here, I want to get something blue. I didn't really prepare a blue color, an exact blue color code to use, so I'm going to take this. So yeah, it's not really bad, it's kind of really blue. So once you choose it, now you can now choose the opacity below here, so you can actually increase it to be darker, you can drop it, but I think that I like it this way. So what I'm going to do now is, you see this black doesn't really stand out on the blue color. So what I'm going to do now is change the color of the headline. So I'm going to come over now to headline and I change the text color to white. So I'm just going to paste the white color code here. Then it has to change. So we'll have that white color code here. As you can see now, white actually stands out on this. So we can keep the amazing this way, or maybe I choose, okay, on this headline here, let me actually show you something. We have the text color, which is the text that does not have the animated sign on it, and then we'll have the animated text, which is amazing. And I'm going to just right click here and I can change the animated text to, which color am I gonna choose? Let's say something black. Yeah, I just keep it this way. In the future we're going to be making a lot of changes. So Another advantage of using this animated text is that you can actually change what actually is going to show you. So if I come over to content and I go to circle, I can choose underline, and you see our animated text is going to be an underline. So if I actually choose curly, our animated text is going to be something like this. So there are a variety of them here. I like the underline because it looks more responsible. Definitely you can choose which looks good for you. So once we have inserted this, the next thing we're going to be inserting at that top section is a text editor. So with text editor, I'm just going to drag this and drop it maybe at the bottom of this. And with the text editor now, I'm going to select everything and align it to center, and I'm going to copy this same text. I think I'm just going to copy this and duplicate it so that I have a lot of text in this section. So definitely in your case, you are going to decide how you want it to be. So I'm going to click now on this little icon here. Once I click on that icon, it's going to take me to this. Okay, I need to go to the style tab, and I'm going to decide the text color, and definitely it's going to be white. So once I do this, choose the white color code, which is definitely this. Or yeah, we have the white color code here now, and I think this white actually stands out from that blue color. Or I can go ahead and decide to drop down the intensity of that overlay. Let's just try to see how it's going to look like. So definitely building website is just, you just need to be good in coloring. Just know that I drop this, I increase this, and stuff like that. So I'm just going to keep it this way. It's for illustration and it's for demonstration. I definitely know that you're going to know how to play around with it to make it look best for you, but I love increasing it so that it actually makes the text to stand out. Definitely maybe the images behind were not the best, and I think that we are done with this section. Another thing that we can add to this section here is to go to this home Elementor page builder, and I'm going to drag and drop a button at the bottom here. First thing I'm going to do is align this button to the center. I'm going to change the coloring of this button. I go to the style section. Once I'm on the style section, I'm going to decide to change the color. So I'm going to give it something maybe white. So once I give it the white color, I'm going to change the text color to something blue so that it makes it balance. When you're working on your own website, you're definitely going to have a color code that you are going to be using, making sure that the color actually balances. In this case here, I'm not really following the detail of that, but what I'll advise you to do is that you have a particular color code. If your website has blue and white, like in this case, use that color code so that everything is matching in line. So we're done with the first section of the website. I think we're going to continue with this next section.